In my experience, when you start out as a virtual assistant, you do not specialize in a particular area or with a particular client. It isn't really talked about at all, and it's kind of like you can serve anyone. VAs can work for any industry. VAs can work with any types of clients, and I don't think that that is true, and I don't think it is good advice. In reality, this is the exact reason that most virtual assistants really struggle to get consistent clients and can only charge hourly rates and don't feel like their business is progressing as quickly as they would like. If you are trying to serve everyone, it's really hard to stand out and make a great impression. And that's where specialising can really change things. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kim. I help virtual assistants go from admin support to strategic partner working with their clients. So let's talk about what specialising actually means. When I talk about specialism, I am talking about focusing on one type of client in a particular niche industry. So for example, with my clients, I work with therapists in private practice. Specialising also means understanding their industry. So it's about knowing the jargon, it's about understanding laws and regulations. So for example, with therapists in private practice, it's about understanding about medical insurance. It's about understanding how private practices run and how they differ from other businesses. It's understanding the privacy and confidentiality regulations and things like that. So every industry will have their own stuff. And it's really important that you understand that, and it doesn't need to be taught by the client to you when you start working with them. When you understand the industry, you walk in knowing all this information. In fact, you probably know it better than them. It's also learning their workflows. What I have found with my niche is that every single practice that I work with has a client journey. So I have a thing called the private practice workflow, which I teach therapists in private practice, which basically talks them through the client journey all the way from inquiry all the way to offboarding. And I have created that myself by working with hundreds of therapists at this point. And you will be able to do the same thing. Once you work in a particular industry, you will be able to see the patterns and understand the similarities. And that is where you are going to bring your expertise, because that is something that your client doesn't have. Your client will only understand theirs, and they will do it a particular way. Probably won't be done the best way, because again, what I have found with clients that need virtual assistants is the admin really is not their strong point, or they really don't enjoy it. So they kind of sticky tape how they run their business together. And what you want to do is you want to go in and you want to streamline and automate and really make things run smoothly. So a specialist VA doesn't just come in and do admin tasks. They really understand the business and the clients that they are working for, and they come in as the strategic partner. They actually come in as a partner to their clients, not just as support. And that is where your value is really going to shine through. Okay. So what am I talking about? Right. So let's talk about why generalist VAs struggle. So the first point of that is it's much harder to market yourself. If you do not know who you are talking to, it is so hard to attract clients, whether that's your website, social media, or even reaching out to clients directly. Let's say, for example, somebody has put in a Facebook group, oh, I'm looking for an admin support. And you're like, I can do that. When they come to look at your stuff, you're not really going to stand out to them. Like, why should I hire you? Okay, fine, you're priced like this, I can afford you, but like, why are you actually going to be able to help me? What you really want to do is you want to be able to really talk to your ideal client, really get to their pain points and say, hey, I can help you, and this is how I can help you. I know what your problems are, and this is how I'm going to fix them. The second reason is because your clients will see you as interchangeable or replaceable. If you are just coming in, doing the stuff they've asked you to do, anyone can do that. Once they have SOPs, once you have written documents of how to do the job, anyone could do that job. You are not special. You are not bringing anything to their business that they couldn't get elsewhere with probably 100,000 other people. You really want to go in and show why you are valuable and your expertise, and basically go in as irreplaceable. It's like, I am the person that is right for you, and this is why. This is all of the knowledge that I bring to your business. This is all of the expertise. These are the ways I'm going to improve your business. You don't want people who are just comparing you on price. You want somebody to say, of course I have to work with Jane, because Jane absolutely understands my business inside out. She is going to be the person that's going to help me, even though she is priced far higher than those other VAs. I know that this person is right for me because she understands my business. And the next reason is because you will constantly need to start from scratch. If you are going in and you are working for a therapist in private practice, you learn how that therapist works, you learn the systems they use and things like that. The next client that comes in, she's like, I'm a hairdresser. And you're like, okay, cool, I can do that. And you do all the admin for them. You have to learn all of their systems. You have to learn how their clients go through their journey and all the admin that is around there. And then the next one is a plumber. And you start saying, okay, I can do that too. And you start working for a plumber and they have all different systems. You never ever feel confident going into working with a client. I can work for any therapist in private practice based on the way that I work with therapists, and I can go in so confidently and absolutely know that I can improve their admin within weeks, if not days. And when that happens, you show up differently. You turn up to the discovery call with confidence. You bring them value. It's not just asking them questions about how you would want to work and them asking you questions about your fees and things like that. It really is you being confident in showing up and saying, this is how I can help you. Like, I am the person for you. It also means you can hit the ground running. So you make positive changes to their business straight away. You are not spending weeks and months in training mode where they feel really unconfident and like they're doing all the work themselves, or actually doing additional work because they're having to do work and train you and things like that. You want to walk in and for the client to feel really at ease as quick as possible. Okay, so let's talk about the benefits of specializing. So we touched on this before, but the first benefit is being able to market yourself much easier. When you know who you are speaking to, the problems you solve and how you can help them, it's so much easier to create a website, to create social media posts, and to be able to market yourself in groups and things like that and say, hey, I'm the person for you, really confidently, because you absolutely know how you can help those people and they will feel so much more confident in believing you. It also means that the SEO on your websites is better, so that when someone's searching for virtual assistant in my area, or virtual assistant who works with therapists in private practice, or virtual assistant who works with plumbers, your stuff is going to come up and it's going to go higher and higher and higher up the list as you continue to make content and continue to have a great website. Ultimately, what you want is that you don't really have to do any outbound. I have not done any outbound looking for clients work. I've actually never done that, I'll be honest, because I grew my business really slowly, and so just the referrals that I was getting naturally was enough. But I do see it a hell of a lot in virtual assistant Facebook groups and things like that. And when I need associates or people to work in my agency, I literally probably get 100 applicants for one job. So I know how hard it is to start a virtual assistant business, especially when you don't specialize. The second benefit of specializing is that you can charge more. Once you know the value that you can bring to someone, you are super confident and you know, I am worth charging this amount of money because I'm going to save the client so much time, so much stress, and it's going to be worth them paying me that money. You aren't going in as admin support. You are going in as their strategic partner. They will think of you as a partner. All of the clients I work with, if they want to do anything in their business, they run it past me first. They get my opinion on it. They get my help with it. Let's say a therapist client wants to start a group, or they want to start a membership, or they want to start a newsletter. All of those things, they will come to me first and say, how can we do this? How can we create this group? How can we create this newsletter or this membership? They come to me for consultation and support, not just, I'm going to do this. This is how I want it done. None of them come to me like that. They all come to me for advice because they know that if they want to turn their dream into a reality, that I'm the person that's going to do that for them, or my team, whoever they're working with. So that is what you want to do. You want to become irreplaceable to their business. The other benefit of specializing is your confidence. As you start working with similar clients, you will naturally become so much more confident in knowing, yeah, I got this. I can work with you. I can work with anyone within this niche. I understand this business inside out. When you have that confidence, it shines through. When you meet someone on a discovery call, it's not pick me, you should work with me. It's I'm the right person for you. I know that I can help you, and have that confidence. Even if the client says no, you're like, okay, cool. you're lost kind of thing. And I promise you that confidence will shine through, and it will build so much quicker once you work in the same industry, in the same systems, with the same workflows. That energy will just surround you, and clients will just know that you're the right person for them. You'll also become easier to hire. So what I find is when you get known for doing a good job and for working with multiple people in the same industry. So you say, I am a virtual assistant for therapists in private practice, for plumbers, for hairdressers, whatever it is. Those clients will recommend you to their friends. They will have other people in the industry. They will go to events. They will be in Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups and things like that. And if someone says, hey, does anybody know a virtual assistant that works with therapists, or do you work with a virtual assistant, they will put your name forward. They will want to share you with their friends because they trust you and because they know that you'll do a good job. So I have talked about working with therapists in private practice throughout this video, and as you can clearly tell, that is the industry that I work with. And obviously you can pick any industry, you can work with any type of client that you are suited to. But I just want to talk to you a bit about why I think therapists are the perfect niche and why you should also work with therapists in private practice. So therapists in private practice are incredibly busy. They have so much that they have to do, and they have multiple clients that they work with and multiple things going on at one time. Most therapists in private practice that I have come across, and I have come across hundreds of therapists, do not like admin. They just don't. I've had like a couple of them that have come across, but like, I love admin, and it's like, cool. And they've come to me for actual support with setting up systems and things like that, because I teach therapists how to set up their systems themselves. So there's not many of them. Most of them completely dislike their admin. Most of them also struggle with systems. So they will sticky plaster something together when they had like 1 or 2 or 3 clients, and then as they got busier and busier and busier, they've just continued to do that. So they're probably doubling the work that they need to do. They're doing everything manually, and they're really scared to put systems in place and kind of, is that rock the apple cart? Is that like the phrase? I don't think that's the phrase. Shake the apple cart, whatever it is, some kind of apple cart. They are afraid to put systems in place. They're afraid what their clients will think about it. They're just afraid that it won't work. So they are pretty systems averse. They deal with a lot of confidential information. So they need really reliable support of people that they know that they can trust, that understand the importance of confidentiality, data protection, things like that. If you can go in and explain exactly how you will support the confidentiality, they will be extremely happy with you. So all of this creates a massive opportunity for virtual assistants. When a virtual assistant understands the therapy world and the therapist gets that virtual assistant becomes incredibly valuable. Therapists are incredibly loyal people. I have worked with the same therapist clients for a decade at this point, and they've never gone anywhere else, despite the fact that I have had to pass them on to other people, like within my agency. They have trusted me to train these people and for them to work with them. I have been referred to countless times by my clients. And so working with therapists in private practice really is a long-term solution. It's not likely that you will start working with someone and 3 months later they say, oh no, I don't actually think I want to work with you anymore, which happens so regularly. I see in Facebook groups and things like that with other clients where people are constantly on the hamster wheel of getting new clients. It's not like that with therapists in private practice. Once you start working with them, they're pretty much a client for life. As long as they have their private practice, you will have a job basically, and they will also recommend you to their friends as well. So again, once you get in, once you've got a good relationship, they will recommend you. If you say I'm looking for new clients, you know, you will have a new client pretty quickly. I can pretty much guarantee that. Guarantee on this video, you will get more clients if you work with therapists in private practice. So if you are a virtual assistant and you are feeling overlooked, overworked and underpaid, I would really recommend that you do my new training, which is a free webinar. It is under 30 minutes and I talk very fast, but if you want to speed me up, it'll be even quicker. But it's going to talk you through how to go from being an overlooked, underpaid virtual assistant into a specialist partner, earning consistent income. And that's what we all want, right? We want to make sure that our business is successful and that we know how much money we're going to get each month, and we're not worrying about where our next client is going to come from and things like that. So if you'd like to do that training, I'm going to leave a link, the QR code, links in the description, all the places. So make sure you check that out. And until next time, thanks so much for watching.